host of the Gridiron.
All right. Welcome to the Gridiron, baby. If you can give this video a thumbs up and maybe share this video, that would be absolutely freaking phenomenal. If you subscribe to my channel, thank you. If not, please comment below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way next time I go live or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? It's totally free of charge. But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. If you want to help support my channel out, top in the description box below, top link, very top link description box, takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So once again, if you want to help support my channel, it would mean so much to me, and I thank you in advance. And then finally, just underneath that, just a little, right underneath it, there's another link. It takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. We have over 9,500 members in the group. It is doing simply marvelous, might I add. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, and if I got internet access, I am putting stuff in this group down there 365. It's called the New York Giants Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You will not be dissatisfied. I promise. All right. Well, we're going to be talking about some. Is that next? Yeah, after this. After our Cedric Jones. Mr. Cedric Jones here. Mr. Jones. But talking about some key dates, right? How about that combine? I mean, that's what it's beautiful. It's because you got obviously December, you got the football, and you got the playoffs in January, then you got in February, you got the Super Bowl, and you got the combine, and then 2 weeks, about a little about 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Free agency. Holy cow. How crazy is that? Right. Then, of course, the following month after that, then you got the draft, right? In between all of that, you're going to have pro days and all. Oh, man, and then, of course, after that, then you have rookie mini camps. And then, it's the only time, really, it's like about a month or so. Right, and during the season, not in the season. I'm sorry. It's like between June, 4 weeks, 5 weeks from like June 10th to July 17th or whatever it is, somewhere around there. Where it's like everybody like just disappears. They go on vacations and whatever, right? But there's always something like going on. And of course, when everybody comes back in July, that's when the training camps start, and then a couple weeks after that, you got the Hall of Fame game, the preseason games, and off and running once again, guys. So it's almost always something to look forward to. It's kind of like a little bit, if you like a little bit like Hanukkah, shall I say? The 8 crazy nights on. Every night there's something going on. And same thing in the pros. 11 out of the 12 months pretty much is something going on. It's absolutely fantastic. But the one thing I wanted to bring, you can even, to some certain degree, I guess, if you want to go back and look at the 2019 draft as well, too. Gettleman, of course, he said when need meets, the player, where they're ranked at and all. Oh, we got this guy, Daniel Jones. He's like our 6th ranked guy on the board, and look, we're picking 6th, and he's the 6th ranked. We need a quarterback, so it just kind of married up. So it was absolutely perfect, So you can go back and talk all you want, obviously, about the 2019 draft, the Daniel Jones and all that and everything. Now, whether he would have been there at number 17, of course, then we wouldn't have had Sexy Dexy. So there is that to think about, too, right? But the one, and I certainly, I guess I don't want to say recent memory, because we're going back to 1996, so we're going back almost 30 years ago, but the one that just kind of always sticks in my mind now is the Cedric Jones, the dreaded 1996 overall, when the Giants picked number 5 overall, right? And it just seemed like, I think it might have been George Young's last draft. Now, we did get Amani Toomer in the second round, so it did, worked out okay there. But I'm not sure, when George Young, decided to take Cedric Jones with the number 5 overall pick. I mean, because there were some Hall of Famers after him. I mean, I'm not sure, because if we look at the 1996 draft here, right? It was a good draft. Good draft. Keyshawn Johnson got taken number 1 overall by the Jets. Can't blame him for that. Then you got Kevin Hardy, got taken by Jacksonville. And then, of course, the big one was Simeon Rice. Now Simeon was all about what he had 122 career sacks. Now Simeon was good. He was taken number 3 overall, and then Jonathan by Arizona, and then Jonathan Ogden was taken by Baltimore, the tackle, Hall of Famer, right? By Baltimore. And obviously, of course, Baltimore took 2 Hall of Famers in that first round of their first draft. They got Ray Lewis, number 26 overall, so the Giants could have Ray Lewis as well, too. But the thing was with Simeon Rice was, obviously, I said he had 122 career sacks. His thing was, he wasn't much like, he was like, I want me some sacks. Right? I'm not going to give you too much as far as maybe stopping the run, really. That's not sexy. Right? I'll get you some sacks. Now, I guess kind of like what I guess maybe with Georgia, that Simeon Rice got taken. I'm sure he might have been the number 1 guy that because they were trying to pair somebody up maybe with Michael, right? And that would have been pretty fierce, right? Not that you wouldn't have had the greatest run defensive end, run stopping defense, but I mean between the 2 of them, right? I mean if you got Michael on one side here and you got Simeon Rice on the other side there rushing the quarterback, you're going to get, that's pretty impressive, right? But when he got taken, right, you're not sure, exactly what was going on with George Young, what was going on in his mind and all of that and everything. If it's kind of more or less kind of like, I'll show you. I'm still going to take a defensive, and I mean, whether he's there or not, I mean, whether he deserves to be the number 5 overall pick or not, I'm taking me a defensive end. So I'll show you. Yeah. I mean, the guy played 5 seasons, 1996 to 2000, the 2000 Super Bowl, right, when we lost 442,000-7 against the Ravens. That was his last game with the Giants. He tried out in 2001 with the Rams, but never made the team. So actually, that Super Bowl was his last NFL game. Now, a bit odd, because that was pretty much his best season. He had 7.5 sacks. His last season, he had 15.5 for his career. So we drafted this guy. He played 5 seasons in the NFL. We drafted number 5 overall. He had 15.5 sacks in 5 seasons. He averaged 3 sacks a season. Yeah. So it was, a reach. The biggest thing was, which kind of makes you, shake your head, kind of like now, or even back then, was he had a problem with one of his eyes. Okay. Now apparently, I guess Georgia, whatever they did, they apparently they found out about it, and they felt it was going to be okay. Everything was going to be fine. But apparently he can only rush from one side. I think it was from the right side. If you're looking at the defensive right, the defense right. Yeah, Michael on the left. If you stand behind the defensive line, yeah, Michael on the left. Cedric Jones would be on the right, facing the offense, right? That was the only way, the only side that Cedric Jones could rush from. He had to come in from the one side. But as I said, apparently George Young I had that checked out and everything, and apparently everything passed. But I mean, he didn't see any problem with it. But let's see. So we got a couple things here on Cedric Jones. New sporting news: Cedric Jones, the worst draft pick in Giants history. I wouldn't say so much the worst, but I guess you can also say maybe where he was drafted at, number 5. Every NFL team goes through hardship draft picks that don't pan out due to injury, character issues, or even sometimes lack of developing talent. With that in mind, Sporting News released their list of the worst draft picks for each team throughout history earlier this week. Now, this article is several years old. Oh, 2017, so it's quite a few years old. All right. Oh, there we go. Let's see here. For the Giants, it was defensive end Cedric Jones who got the nod. Giants drafted Jones 5th overall in the 1996 NFL Draft out of the University of Oklahoma. And as it turned out, 9 of the first 15 picks ended up being Pro Bowlers. It wasn't a bad draft. 9 of the first 15 picks. So let's see here. What do we got now? All right. So I said we had Keyshawn Johnson, Kevin Hardy, Simeon Rice, Jonathan Ogden, Cedric Jones. Then, of course, then the Rams wound up taking Lawrence Phillips, Terry Glenn, Tim Biakabatuka from Carolina, the running back, Ricky Dudley, tight end for Oakland, Willie Anderson, the tackle from Cincinnati, Alex Molden, a defensive back from Nolans, Reagan Upshaw, defensive end, Walt Harris, a defensive back, Eddie George, and John Mobley, linebacker. So there was also Eddie Kennison got taken with the 18th overall pick. Some guy by the name of Marvin Harrison got taken by the 19th pick overall. Of course, then you have Ray Lewis got taken 26th overall. Could you imagine Ray Lewis on this team, the Giants team? So, I mean, there was some really, obviously the Giants wound up getting Amani Toomer in the second round. So, it wasn't absolutely, there was a lot of good. Mike Allstock got taken in the second round. Lawyer Malloy got taken in the second round. Let's see. Anybody? Oh, Gerard Cherry got taken in the second round. Mushin Muhammad, the wide receiver, got taken in the second round. Let's see. Bobby Ingram. Brian Dawkins got taken with the last pick in the second round, Hall of Famer. So there were some guys out there. So there was some really good picks, really good players out there. But fortunately, the Giants wound up taking, and obviously after that, the Rams taking Lawrence Phillips as well too. But let's see. It's easy to look back now and imagine the lethal duo that Strahan and Jones could have been. As I said, I do believe that George Young wanted Simeon Rice. He got taken 2 spots in front. As I said, can you imagine Rice and Michael Strahan, those 2 guys, 2 defensive ends? Whew. You would have got yourself some sacks, I can tell you that much. But with the duo that Strahan and Jones could have been, but unfortunately for all involved, Jones just didn't pan out as he recorded only 15 sacks, 107 tackles in his 5 years with the Giants. Although Jones' time with the Giants was somewhat short-lived, he did play in the Super Bowl against the Ravens. And although it ended poorly, 2000 turned out to be Jones' best year as he recorded 43 tackles and was second on the team with 7.5 sacks. After the 2000 season, he signed with the then St. Louis Rams, but never played it down for them due to an injury he was sustained prior to the season. The 1996 NFL draft wasn't all bad for the Giants as they took wide receiver Monty Toomer in the second round. Unlike Jones, Toomer went on to be very productive during his years with Big Blue. In fact, Toomer remains the franchise all-time receiving leader. The younger fans have surely seen a lot of success in the Giants' more recent draft classes. Obviously, they've landed. They're talking about players that they've landed. Let's see here. There's another one here too. This one. All right. New York Giants draft bust, number 6, Cedric Jones. They have a list, but you want the poster child for why you don't go strictly for need. Ding, 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 ding. In the first round of the NFL draft. Now, once again, what do the Giants need? Quarterback. Where are they picking? Number 3. You can't reach. That guy's got to be worthy of the number 3 overall pick. Now, I mean, once again, to be fair, if the Giants have, so and so, if they got Shedeur Sanders ranked number 5 overall, and they're picking number 3 and Shedeur's there, the thing, what you can do is have, Shedeur Sanders ranked like, say, 28th, Cam Ward ranked like number 17 or 18 or something like that. That's a reach. That's something they can't do. Absolutely can't do. If you study the draft and know Giants history at all, you should know Jones's story. The Giants watched defensive end Simeon Rice, went number 3 overall, and offensive tackle Jonathan Ogden, who went 4th overall, come off the board in the 2 previous picks to theirs. Giants brass had its heart set on Rice, apparently, and felt a pass rushing defensive end was what it had to have. I'll show you. Yeah, you take Simeon Rice, I'll show you. I'm going to take somebody else. I'm going to take another defensive end. I'll show you. Even if it's a reach, I don't care. Even if the guy's worthy of a 3rd round pick, I don't care. I'm taking me a defensive end. Yeah, I'll show you. Oh, yeah. Giants brass had its heart set on Rice, apparently, and felt a pass rushing defensive end was what it had to have. So Jones was chosen as the consolation prize. It did not pan out. Jones turned out to have vision problems that limited him to playing only on the right side. So once again, if you're on the defensive line, right, you're looking at the offense, you got Michaels on the left, right, and Jones would be on the right. And that's the only place that Jones could play because of his vision problems on the right-hand side. Not really somebody you want to take with the 5th overall pick in the draft. He had a hamstring injury and as well as rookie season. He did not become a starter until his 4th season as a Giant and was out of the NFL after 5 seasons. He did compile 15 sacks his final 3 seasons, but he was never a real impact. Now, it says the list of players drafted in the 1st round who the Giants passed on to take Jones really makes you shake your head. Terry Glenn got taken 7th overall, the wide receiver from New England. In a 12-year career, Glenn caught 593 passes. Eddie George, he was picked 14th overall, running back, obviously 4-time Pro Bowler, more than 10,000 yards rushing in his career. I mean, I'll tell you what, that would have been a nice duo. Eddie George and Tiki Barber. Whoo, that would have been nice. We wouldn't have drafted Ron Dane in the 2000 draft. Wouldn't have been no Thunder and Lightning. We would have had Eddie George and Tiki Barber. That would have been a real nice duo. Marvin Harrison taken 19th overall. 8-time Pro Bowler, had 1,102 receptions in his career. Obviously, if you put him on any team and I was the quarterback, he's not having 1,100 receptions. It did help that he had Peyton Manning throwing him the ball. So Ray Lewis, some guy by the name of Ray Lewis, right? He was taken 26th overall. 12-time Pro Bowler, future Hall of Famer, still playing. Well, he's not playing anymore now. This article's old. So I mean, you can't reach. You got to, as I said once again, right? If the Giants on their draft board, they got Cam Ward picked is the fifth best player and Shador is the sixth best player or something. Yeah, that's not like a reach. Plus, they'll never tell you. Well, they ain't never going to tell you. I mean, Shane ain't going to say, no, we took Cam Ward. Number 3 overall. He was number 3 on our board. How did that work out, huh? Pretty cool, huh? Yep, nope, number 3. Nope, yep, that's what he was now. He might have been number, whatever. He could have been number 4 or number 5 or something. They're not going to tell you. Well, we had him number 5, but we needed a quarter, so we didn't. They're not going to tell you that. Never going to tell you that. I mean, so. But I said, what they can't do, I mean, they got to get all their information, and we need a quarterback, this, that, and the other thing. But, if you got, you got whatever, X amount of guys, in front of them, that's a reach. Now, the thing is that, the Giants could, obviously, they know pretty much a lot of the guys are going to get taken in the first round, right? So, but I mean, it's like they could put like, if they like Cam and they got Shador, well, they could put like a couple other guys maybe in front of them. Like, well, if Hunter gets taken and Carter gets taken, then we'll take this guy, something like that. They're not going to, they may not wind up putting up, obviously, a whole bunch of guys that might get taken in the first round because, once the Giants pick number 3, all those other guys possibly that they have ranked in the first round might all be gone by the time they want to take it in the picking in the second round. So, but I said the one thing the New York Giants cannot do, and I said that's what I do with that Cedric Jones kind of thing. They can't reach, and apparently that's what it seemed like. What happened was that the Giants wanted an edge rusher or an edge / defensive end, which I was more like what what it was back then, right? So in 1996, it's like, oh yeah, you take Simmons. Well, don't matter to us. We're taking ourselves a defensive end, whether he's worthy of the number 5 pick or not. We'll show you. So they reached. Guy had vision problems, can only rush from the one side. Played 5 seasons, couldn't even start the first couple seasons. I mean, you take somebody number 5 overall, that mofo better be in there lock, stock, and barrel day 1 as a starter, unless he's got injured. I mean, like what happened with Odell Beckham Jr.? He had some hamstring issues. He missed the first 4 games of the season. It's kind of like, when is this guy ever going to play? He finally got in there and he showed us why they took him. Right? Right? Great pick. But, you pick somebody, number 5 overall, that guy better be starting from day 1. I mean, and they took Cedric Jones, and he wasn't even a starter. Now, let's see what I've got. Let's see, what did he do? Let's see, Cedric Jones. Here we go. Okay, his first year. Oh, yeah, I mean, his first 3 years, he didn't even start. He didn't start to his last 2 seasons. Although, his last 2 seasons, he had a grand total of 11 sacks. But his first season, he played in 16 games, didn't start 1. Then he must have had some injury issues in 1997. He played in 9 games, started 2. 1998, played in all 16 games, only started 1. So his first pick number 5 in the draft. The guy played in his first 3 seasons, only started 3 games. I mean, that's absolutely ungodly, unacceptable. The Giants can't do that. Absolutely can't do that. Whoever they draft, I mean, unless it's if it's Cam, right? And they bring in, I don't know, just saying Justin Fields, somebody like that, right? You got Justin Fields, it might be the Kurt Warner, Eli Manning kind of thing. Might be the Justin Fields, Ward kind of thing, right? With Justin Fields out there, first 4, 5, 6, 7 games or whatever like that, right? And then we'll slide Cam in there, right? Right? Let him ride out the rest of the season. Right? See what he does. So I'll have to wait and see. But, I said, unless it's a quarterback, I said, if you're taking anybody else with pick number 3 in the NFL draft, they better be lock, stock, and barrel a starter from day one. We'll keep them on. No, you ain't keeping nobody on the bench. Right?